I think I'm recording now. Yeah, so this, I'm going to give this camera another try. I went into my settings or setup for it, and it was only set at 480, which I believe 100% wholeheartedly that it was set at 480. You know, and 480p or whatever they call it is just, it's just unacceptable. So now it's set at 720, 1080 or whatever the hell. Yeah, 720 and 1080, which is great. So I'm hoping that it is actually a clearer shot for everybody. And I just spent the money, you know. I'm sick and tired of the the GoPro cameras. I have one here. I'll show you right quick while I'm driving out my driveway. There it is. It's right there. I got a magnetic base on it. It doesn't do bad work. It's just got terrible audio. Excuse me, terrible audio, and it's got terrible just terrible memory. I mean, you can fill up a 256 gigabyte SD card in 2 days. Just fills them up. It just takes so much memory to make those things run, and it just plugs up my home computer and all that other stuff. Whereas this Sony, I could probably use it for 5 years and never fill up my computer at home. So I'm hoping that the image stabilization is turned on and everything's working. It says that it is, which is a good thing. Anyway, yeah. So let's give it another try. If you guys don't like it, just stand by, because my new DJI Osmo Action 2 or whatever the hell it is, and I actually bought one of those gimbal gizmos.
Well, we haven't had mushroom in a while from the mushroom company.
Yeah, they don't give them away anymore.
Oh, I bet you I can get some mushroom there.
Oh, sure you can.
Peel, there's some stinker on that.
Yeah, there probably is. It's old, stagnant water.
What do you need help, Will?
Is there a special tire, you know? Okay, so we're recording. All right, so we didn't have Tim's temper 25. Nope. No Tim's temper 25. He didn't lose his temper. He's grown up a little bit. Put brand new tires on. 4 brand new tires. Didn't get the flat face ones. These are your original design for the 750 John Deere grain drill. The later models had the smooth front tires. They are extraordinarily expensive. And these are extraordinarily expensive. These were 145 bucks a piece. I put a 12-ply tire on there. They're set to 150 pound of pressure, and I put those on. For some reason, I could not find the rim that I couldn't find the 10-inch rim that belonged on the drill for some reason. This is off the disc era, not the one that I have now, but an older one that I had. It was a, what was that, a 230, 220? 220 centerfold. What a piece of junk that thing was. Anyway, I had that rim, excuse me, I had that rim, so I just popped the tire off of it and put the new tire on. And I kind of like it a little bit narrower anyway, because then it's not so close to the arm. And these tires actually are meant for a 8-inch rim, but John Deere runs a 10-inch rim. So you see the profile of that tire is actually exploded. So it'd make a good Puerto Rican tire. Anyway, so we put those on. The other thing that I did is, as you can see here, this is all nice and redone. There's a little clip nut that goes on the inside on this thing here, and they all fall off and get lost. So all I did was take a bin bolt there. These are 5/16 bin bolts. I put a washer on the inside and a washer on the outside of that machine headed bolt, and I cut a slot in there so that when I do want to take it off, I just spin on that a little bit with the impact gun or pry up on it, pop right off, and I can get to that. New chain, boom, new chain. 124 links in that one, and 106 links in this one. So this one's new as well. Tightened it up. It's all good. The tensioner for that is right here, and you do kind of want it in the middle of the road. I don't want to make it too tight, but it's there. So this is all new, and it should be good to go. Cleaned this up pretty good with my scraper. That was just caked with dirt and grime and crap, and I greased it. You can see there's some new grease in there, and when there's a couple of things that need to be done here. Yeah, I don't want to lose my train of thought. Okay, so what I did then was I took the old wires off that used to go to the back, and I threw those off. They're junk here someplace. There it is, pile of junk. These hoses are okay. They're not great, but they're there. I'm gonna change the ends out so that they're new and I'm gonna change the ends out so that they're new and they don't leak. And I'm gonna make a couple of clamps for here. These are supposed to be clamps for those hoses so that they come down the center, they clamp there, and you know, life is good. And that'll keep those out of the path of the tire. Every 750 drill that I've ever seen with this setup has tire rub marks right there. So if you're using a 2-wheel drive tractor, it's much more prevalent than that for that, but these bigger behemoth tractors that I run, it's harder to do. You really have to try to do that. So these are 10-inch lugs, or 10-inch rims as well. I greased the hubs, and now I've got an issue that I had when I bought the thing. So when I bought this machine, the guys that I bought it off of, their last name was Rook, and I believe we're related to them in some way, but they're down in Pennsylvania outside of Doylestown, and this was broken. So 20 years ago, I welded that, and that was that. And I can see right now there's a hairline fracture all the way around. So with these dolly wheels, they're only welded in one spot, and then they're bushed at the bottom, or they're press fit up in there and they only weld them at the top. So over time, whether it's the sheer weight of this thing just working on that pin just a tiny little bit loosens up the tolerances underneath and causes that, I don't know, but we're gonna have to grind it out and repair it. So I'm gonna grind that. My grinder's there. I got my wire set up here, more stuff that I had put on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grind that out of there, and then I'm gonna MIG weld it. I'm just gonna go around and around and around and around, like 3 or 4 times, to produce a very wide, very steady, sturdy bead that is going to be 3/4 of an inch thick by the time I'm done, I'm sure. So I'm gonna do that, and then obviously I'm gonna go ahead and refasten these parts here for the hoses. Then I got to get this spring here. See how that's bent out? Well, that'll get bent out when your tires catch the hoses, when you rub against that, and it straightens that thing right out. So that has to be straightened back out again. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm going to be able to do it. No big deal. You don't heat them, because if you heat them, then it softens the carbon steel, the spring steel, and then it'll bend that much easier. So it's kind of like I put it in a vise and bend and work and bend and tap and bend and work and tap and all that stuff until you get it straight. I could just buy a new one, but I'm not in the mood to do that, so I'll be doing that. So that's the work that I'm going to be doing here right now. All right, so I just ground that all down. I'm gonna get the MIG welder out, and I'm just gonna go burning layers and layers and layers around that thing and finally fix it for good, because I'm just not gonna have that happen again. I don't need these problems. I've been telling Therese, I said when she goes to start planting, and she's gonna be doing planting this year, and this is gonna be her chariot. Or her cart, I shouldn't say. Yeah, chariot, cart, same thing. I just don't want to hear anything but, honey, I'm out of seed, or hey, I need more seed, or any of those things. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear, hey, I got a broken frame, or hey, it's not drilling right, or hey, there's something broken on the, you know, any one of these things is all messed up. I don't want any of that. I want this thing to go to the field, and I don't want to have to worry about it ever. Ever. I just want it to be like, okay, I don't want to hear, I got flat tires, that's why I got new tires on it. I don't want to hear my chain broke, that's why I put new chains on it. I don't want to hear anything, right, Tim? Yeah. Here we go. Woo, she get hot. Right out there? What the fuck? Oh, I have to fix that. Hopefully I haven't destroyed the lens on this thing. Yeah, so there it is. I made about 4 or 5 passes. You can count them. I don't remember. Yeah. In the beginning, I was really, really hot. Burrowing in deep. Making a nice, deep, penetrating weld. The first 2, and then I went around. I don't know how many times I went around that thing. Anyway, whatever. I cooled it off a few times to get it on the outside because, well, I don't know, I wasn't too hot, but I'm not unhappy with what I did. I'm just going to take the grinder now and I'm going to take off all the bird shit that's kind of stuck there, the splatter or spatter or whatever you want to call it. Clean it up and see if I can find some paint. And we'll see how that works. Hopefully it lasts. I think it will. Alright. That's what she looks like. Cleaned up a little bit. I mean, it's pretty warm. There's a little bit of bird shit right there, but I'm not going to dig at it too hard. I'm just going to go ahead and coat it with some paint when I get some paint. And we're going to call it a day. Well, we'll call it a day when that's done. I got to set those hoses up and get that taken care of. So I'm going to make a couple of hose squashers right there. Or hose holders right there. And we'll see how that goes. I think I'm just going to use some flat iron. And, yeah, and a spacer. Just enough to hold them so they don't come out. Anyways, we'll get on to that. There we go. Okay, it's recording. Alright, so I just took some 5-inch wide flat steel, cut it into like a, I don't know, 2-inch, 1.5-inch strip, put it in a vise, smacked it with a hammer, made the little edges so that it can't come off the sides, and I took a couple of 7/16-inch nuts with a 3/8-inch bolt, sandwiched it down there. It's just loose enough so it doesn't chafe the granadas out of it. And we're good there, and I'm pretty happy with that. I can live with that. And tomorrow I'm gonna hit that spring, but right now I gotta go home because it's time to go home. Tim's working on these pumps, so that would be good to pump that liquid nitrogen that I bought today. $20,000 for one semi-load of liquid 32%. $20,007 for 32%. 32%. 32% urine. Wow. Well, you know what? I guess it could be worse, right? I might not be able to use it or get it, you know. But the good thing was I had 6,500 gallons of nitrogen left over from last year, and it was in the tank, so we just filled it up. And ooh, so that's just strictly for corn. It's not going on any hay. The only thing I'm going to put on hay this year is secret sauce, and not in a large amount of it, but the secret sauce on that. And as I take the first cutting off, I'm going to put on compost. Yes, mushroom soil compost. So that will, if I take 2 tons of hay off or 3 tons of hay off to the acre, which I won't because I don't have any nitrogen on it. If I take 2 tons of hay off to the acre, then I will put 2 tons of compost to the acre, and basically just replace the biomass that I've removed, and that should be good. It should be enough to grow the crop. But anyhow, I'm on my way home because I'm hungry, kinda, sorta, and I'm tired, and I got to get up at 2:30 in the morning and take that load of hay. If you haven't figured out what I lied about. God, this hat looks big on my head today. If you haven't figured out what I lied about, I said yesterday's video that would be the last video I would do with the 750 drill for a while. And then I found other things to do and film, and that's what you just watched. So don't accuse me of clickbaiting. I bet there's a lot of people that didn't watch this to the end that comment, "Oh, another clickbait video. I didn't think he would ever do that." Yeah, that's what's going to happen. You read it in the comments below, I guarantee you.